Hello, my name is Chuck. I want to go through and talk today about the rough conversation of things to look into if you're starting to fall behind on your payments. And this is not a video I like talking about. This is one that I wanted to make because I want to help people realize that a lot of times there are options and people just don't know what to ask or what to do in these situations. I've spent the past 15 years in customer service, the last four working with phone over the phone as customer service, and about the past year working in quality assurance. So these topics are ones that break my heart every time I have to bring them up, but it's better to be knowledgeable than to go through and have this happen and not know what to do. So let's break apart the first topic, which is why. So one of the big things you want to do in any situation is credit cards want to go through and know why this is happening. So be upfront, call them, be proactive. I highly recommend being proactive with them. Talking to them directly will help by leaps and bounds, and just let them know, hey, I'm having issues going through and making my payments on my credit card. Now, if this is from a natural disaster, like for example, a tornado, first, once again, my heart goes out to you. This is never a place you want to be. But you should, after the disaster is over and you are safe, be contacting your credit card company and just talking to them, because a lot of companies for natural disasters will have preemptive things that you can do to give you a little bit more leeway whenever it comes to making payments on them. So just talk to them, see what you can do with them, because this may be the difference between a late payment on your account and being able to get everything taken care of on time. So talk to them. The other thing is check to see if your area is in a natural disaster. FEMA.org/locations should have the ability to look at it. It's either that or it's FEMA.gov. But either way, check it out. See if you are in a natural disaster area and see what your options are. Talk to your credit card company. Be proactive in them. Keep in mind, this is not legal, financial, or credit advice. This is just things I have noticed whenever I've been working that might help you with everything going smoother for you. If it happens to be because of a loss of job or a loss of income, or in general, things like medical reasons, it's kind of a rougher situation, but you still want to reach out to your credit card company and talk to them. If you can make a payment, there are kind of three levels to it. If it's just one where you can't make a payment, you're behind not even a full billing cycle, most of the credit card companies will not go through and report you late to the credit bureau until you are late for, let's say, 30 days. It depends upon the credit card company. I recommend talking to them and inquiring. Keep in mind that credit card companies don't like reporting you late. They actually like just receiving your money and earning money off of that. They don't get bonus money for sitting there and reporting you late. They're required by law to report accurately. So a lot of companies will go through and report you as late, even though they do not necessarily want to. Second is that if you are, let's say that you are in a situation where you can't pay for a few months. Now, once you've been reported as late, sometimes there are some extra options depending upon the company that you're banking with for additional payment options. They might give you something like a buyout option, or they might go through and give you the option of doing a special payment plan. But this is something that each company is different, so you have to call up your company and talk to a specialist. Keep in mind, there might be a customer service specialist and there might be a credit or a collections trained specialist. The collections trained specialist may know additional options that the other specialist may not. The other thing is that if you do not feel confident in the person you're talking to, you can go through and request a supervisor to look at additional options. But first and foremost, be upfront with the person you're talking to. Let them know your situation and talk to them about it. Because the biggest thing that I generally will see is some people are too proud to go through and mention what's going on. I personally find no fault in anyone for going through and letting me know up front and honestly what is going on. Is just agents can't go through and proactively offer things unless you talk to them. So talk to them and let them know what is happening in your life. There's the basic level, which is the you're only a few days having missed your payment. Once you get past 30, it kind of changes the whole rule. It's not necessarily 30, it's just I'm giving an example of 30. That you fall into different rules and things start to get dire. Whenever you hit past the credit cards don't like closing accounts or going through and selling them off because they basically lose you as a customer. So if you can go through and work something out with them, then they can go through and keep you on as a customer. Once you hit past the whole piece, if the account gets sold off to a debt collection agency, for example, the debt is no longer the credit card company's, it is someone else's, and they've sold it for maybe pennies on the dollar. But each company is different on how they handle late accounts. So talk to your credit card company. None of this may apply to you because the fact that each company is different. So just remember, please go through and talk to them before it gets too late. The earlier you contact them, the smoother things tend to go on the account, especially if you're dealing with a natural disaster. I know this is not the type of video that you necessarily want to hear, nor is this an easy one for me to make. My heart goes out every time I have to hear one of these situations where someone can't make their payments and they feel like they're being collected. Also remember, there is something called a do not call list where you can go through and request that they stop calling you. However, you do need to keep in mind that credit card companies are merely trying to go through and get you current on your bills so they don't have to do through the extreme methods like closing your credit card or selling the debt. So you only use it as a last resort. And remember, in everything, you want to go through and communicate. You want to talk things out. You want to see what you can do. Look at options on there and try to go through and talk to them about it. Worst case, talk to the credit card company and the agent and see if they have any recommendations on their end. Ask them, because a lot of people don't think about asking probing questions of the credit card company, and ask them if there's any special programs they can recommend that will help you go through and manage your debt and be able to pay it off in a better rate. So in recap, remember there's the FEMA or the disaster relief that generally credit card companies will have as special consideration if that happens to be why you're late or going to be late. I recommend proactively checking on everything because it makes things go so much better. Second, if it's for a job loss, medical reasons, or any other reason, talk to the company, see what you can do. Try and work with them on the situation because it can make all the difference. Remember that also you may need to go through and talk to one of the credit bureaus like TransUnion or Equifax in order to see the impact of a late payment on your account, because the credit card companies may not have credit trained specialists to be able to advise what impact it will be with the credit bureau, and you may need to contact the credit bureau anyway. If you like this sort of content, please feel free to like and subscribe, and go through and leave a comment on other topics you may want me to cover or what piece of information you found useful. My name is Chuck. It's been a pleasure. I hope you have an amazing day and everything goes smoothly for you. I really do mean it. Farewell.